Okay, so thanks for coming back. I'm talking again with Nancy, and Nancy had an interesting question.
What if science is not the truth about the universe? It's not the what I said.
The ultimate truth about the universe.
Yeah. What if at the beginning we took the wrong path?
We took the. Do you have an idea of what could be an alternative path?
Like I always believe like. So do you believe in souls?
Me?
Yes. Like, do you believe like even our human flesh dead, but our soul will continue to live? Do you believe that kind of stuff?
I wouldn't say I don't believe it.
Yes.
But I also wouldn't say I strongly believe it.
Yeah,
what about you?
There's no proof. Because right now, like right now, the society is based on the scientific stuff, and religion is kind of like mental stuff, the spiritual stuff, which we cannot. No one can like put it on the paper, and no one can see and can touch it. It's just like feeling, right? And we don't know what is that about. It's like one part of your consciousness, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of people who say religion is an illusion of your brain.
Yes.
A result of an evolutionary process.
Where can I start? It's so complicated to say. Like, so Elon Musk said, what if like right now this world is not real, it's just a digital world,
it's
right?
It's an illusion, yeah.
Yeah, it's an illusion. That could be true, because it's still just a theory, right? Sometimes I don't feel
I think he cites Nick Bostrom on that, and I think they have given it a percentage, like something like to 73% this world is an illusion. So it's not just like they seem to try to underlie it with some scientific facts. But I wonder if you can do that, yeah.
Yeah, so for me it's like something it's hard to explain by science. Yeah. And science can only calculate the physical stuff, like we can see, we can hear, and maybe like what we can feel, but like I don't know where we are going.
Yeah, I mean, this is really a question, because it is a question of what is science, right? And if we limit science to, let's say, physical objects, then we can just make utterances about physical objects, right? But then we can also not make utterances about souls, about religion, about the meaning of our lives.
So why we cannot do that? Because we don't understand what is that. Like we don't understand what is consciousness. That's why right now people feel like the AI are getting smarter and smarter.
Yeah.
And the science guys said like, don't worry, they don't have their own consciousness. So there will be no harm. But the thing is, we don't know what is consciousness. So we don't know how people get consciousness, where the consciousness come from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what if like one day AI suddenly has consciousness, and how can we know that like he has consciousness? We know nothing. It's just one experiment. And if we can build an AI with consciousness, then maybe they can prove like someone built us from the beginning as an AI, then they put it into a flesh, then it is us.
You mean like a god?
No, it's not like a god. It's not a god. It's just someone made a consciousness and need a flesh body.
And who made that guy?
Aliens.
Aliens.
I don't know.
The answer to everything. Alien.
No, I mean that's possible.
You know, there was something very interesting you said. So you said nobody understands consciousness. I would phrase it a little bit differently. I would say nobody can explain consciousness,
Yes.
but understanding seems to be a bit different. And there is a split in the 19th century where there are two schools of thought developing by a philosopher whose name is Dilthey. And the sciences split into, after that, they split into the humanities, and they split into what we call sciences. So sciences deal with empirical problems, and they want to give explanations for things, right? But the humanities, they deal actually with understanding, yeah? They try to understand phenomena, which is a bit of a different scientific method, And therefore, it's really interesting when you say, well, is science the only way? And I would agree with you in the way, well, science is limited in its approach because of that split.
So, I feel like, how can I say, like, you know, Chinese medicine, you know, Chinese medical system,
yeah,
are so different from the Western medical system.
Okay.
Western medical system is like, here is painful, then I open it up and see how it works. Then we try to make it up.
Yeah. Do you think that's how the Western system works?
Yeah, it's like your heart has a disease, you open your heart and replace something, then voila, it works good. Here has something, you open up and you open the bodies, the dead body's corpse, then you check every part, then do some examinations and experiment, then here we come.
Okay.
That's what I know. Maybe it's not.
I think it's a
true.
part. But see, I think for Western medicine, you don't need to understand why something works. If it works, it works. You just have statistical methods to show that. Why it works? If you have a theory, good. If you don't have a theory, we are very pragmatic. We still use it. So you just have to show that it works. That's the difference.
The thing I want to say is Chinese medical system are so different from that one, because you know, from like thousands of years ago, we use needles and herbs to cure people. We never open people up, never.
But see, Western philosophy or Western science, they would say if it works.
Let me finish.
Okay.
But the mystery of that part is, maybe you are familiar with the picture, like inside our body of the Chinese medical.
The qi.
Yeah, the 经络.
经络.
Yeah, 经络. There are so many. You know, in the movies they do like do. Then
like
you,
in Kung
then you
Fu
pose.
Hustle.
Yeah, then you pose. Then you do. Then they can move again.
You know the five heart explosion technique.
No.
I'll show you. Wait. Okay, there. It's a famous scene from Kill Bill, right? And I cannot turn on the music. You have seen Kill Bill, right?
Long time ago.
Long time ago. So she meets Bill in the end, and they have this conversation. And I have forgotten what he suggests, but it's an amazing scene. And now she puts like she hits him like on 5 points. Like, look, she gets the thought, and she hits him on 5 points, and that's called the 5-point palm exploding heart technique. So when he goes 5 further steps, his heart explodes.
No.
No?
That's for me. That's bullshit.
That's Why is it bullshit?
Yeah. That's too much.
Should I try it with you? I learned it.
Too much from our acknowledgement.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes a parody out of like Chinese healing techniques, right?
Yeah, we do this, but you should watch some movies that made by the Chinese directors, not the
like Kung Fu Hustle.
I don't know what is Kung Fu Hustle.
You don't know Kung Fu Hustle?
In Chinese, it calls
Kung Fu Hustle. You don't know? I guess you know. It's a very famous movie. It's what is his name? Chen. I've forgotten his name. Kung Fu Hustle. Have you seen this one?
me see the actor.
I think this does not have the major actor in there. It's a very famous Hong Kong movie. And like there is a guy and he's simple, but then at some point he gets hit by the evil guy. And then all of his chi energy gets freed. And then he becomes super strong, you know? You remember this movie?
Yeah, 周星驰. Yeah,
So that's a
definitely.
Chinese movie.
Yeah, it's really fun. I really
Yeah,
like
it's one of my favorites.
Cause Kung Fu Hustle.
I went into the cinema with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came out of the cinema and we just went right back in. We just watched it 2 times in a row,
It's really
you know?
fun.
Yeah, I was just like, what was that? It was so weird, you know. Also, this scene with the falcon or with the eagle, and he just jumps, and now he sees Buddha. Now he comes high, and like he has this insight, you know, and he just becomes super calm.
Can I search something?
Yeah.
The thing I'm talking is this.
经我，经我。
Maybe this. It's just it's better
It's
if
all Indian.
why is
I guess it's Buddhist. Jingwo.
Can I just find it on the?
Do you want to write it in Chinese? Should I write it in Chinese?
No, we don't. I just need a website. I don't need YouTube.
No, let's search it on YouTube. Jingwo, right? The
Yes,
first one, yeah.
yeah.
Jingwo. So Jing is like I Ching, Law Street, Law Street, right?
No.
No? Is it like experience? Law?
This.
This one, yeah. It's the pathways. It means law means pathways or
经络.
Jingluo.
Yes.
Energy streams.
Yes.
Energy streams, yeah? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know how to call that in English.
经络. 中国. 中国学是中国. 中学. Press something else. What do you do, Nancy?
I don't know.
Let me take charge. I'm a leader. Do it again. 经络. 这是中国.
Here. Yes. No,
Here?
just yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me try to read
I
it.
just need a photo.
这是中国 no 中医学的干 no 前古古这不知道
Me.
me
Mystery.
me like Mimi.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, I cannot read all. 今天法
至今无法
啊
找到合理解释. Yes. So this kind of stuff are called 经络.
经络
And which even you open your body, like the way the Western doctors did, you can find nothing. You can only find the blood pipes, but you cannot see this. But in the Chinese doctors, they study this for a long time. Then they will know exactly where the points. Look at the points.
Okay, let me ask
For
you a
example,
question.
if you then there's a 经络. Then if you press here, then it can stop the.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How do you know it's true?
Cause yeah, that's the way all
The Westerner asks.
Yeah, always ask.
But see, if you
But it really works.
let's say you have well, then you say it's true, right? So let's say you have cancer,
Yes.
right? And you come to me and I say I'm a doctor, right? And I say, give me your hand. You're good.
Oh no. So yeah, it's also different because you know yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
So on the Chinese medical system, it's like our human body is like yin and yang. Like you need to balance.
Okay.
You need to balance. So
Yeah.
if you have cancer, that means some balance is not equal.
Okay.
So it means if here is too heavy, then you should eat some herbs, drink some special Chinese medicine to put this balance.
You know, actually, it happens to be that I knew somebody who was involved in the community surrounding Steve Jobs, and he's a pancreas specialist.
What is that?
Pancreas is a certain kind of cancer you can get in your pancreas. Pancreas is an organ in your body. And he told me, I mean, I don't know if it's true what he told me, but he said that Steve Jobs, he said, so he's an absolute expert in his field. Okay, he's one of the world leading experts. He said there are 3 types of pancreas cancer. So he said pancreas cancer is a very easy cancer in terms of how we can understand it. He said there are 3 kinds, and he said Steve Jobs had the cancer that can be cured. But instead, he decided to do a certain kind of fruit therapy. So, and he, like he said, he just drank, I believe, carrot juice and did like some fasting techniques. So he died, and he said it wasn't necessary. So I feel like, especially with questions of cancer, I want to know, I really want to know, why does somebody claim that his theory is true?
So, based on that, actually, the Chinese doctors, I don't know them that well, but as I know, like, they always do this, like, they test your palm, then they can tell the balance inside of you.
Okay.
So, long before you have cancer, they will they notice the disbalance. Then they will already kill you before you getting cancer to make the balance equal, make the scale equal. Then you won't have cancer. So long before you. So body for the Chinese doctors are like.
So they couldn't help
like
someone with cancer.
Yeah, cancer is already too late.
It's too late.
Yes.
Oh,
then
okay.
you should go to the Western medicine doctors.
Then they say you should go to the Western doctors.
Yes.
They would say that.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I think, yes.
Okay, maybe. I mean, so for me, it's really a question. I don't, like, Chinese medicine may work, right? But I want proof.
The thing is, the Western doctors, they only believe what they can see. So if they open the body, they don't see this. Then
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's a misperception of Western science. Right?
But they don't.
No, that's not true.
Right?
Gold standard. What is the gold standard of Western medicine? It means that you take a double-blind standard. Sorry, a double-blind. How is it called in English? A double-blind test, right? That means you take 2 groups, right? One gets the treatment of at least. I believe that you have to meet some statistic criteria of at least 1,000 people who get the treatment. And 1,000 people who don't get the treatment.
Test them.
Yeah. And you see, like, if you, let's say you take a doctor who claims, I can heal people with my technique, right? Say, okay, go to these 1,000 people. And the other group, actually you should have 3 groups if you want to be really, really precise. You say, okay, the other group gets a placebo, right? A medication, or a doctor who just does something where we know it does not work, but the patients don't know. And then the third group, right? In the third group, you do nothing with them. So you have 3 groups, okay? These are different control groups. And you should also make it blind so that the doctors, for example, who give the medication, maybe in that case, it's a bit difficult. So, and then you look at the numbers, and you know this group, 50 people got healed. This group, 20 people got healed. Why? Because sometimes the body just heals itself. The body has incredible healing powers, right? But then the third group, right? This person, he just heals, let's say, 500 people or 1,000. And then we can say statistically, okay, we see something is working here. We don't know what. We don't know what, but it's working. That's how Western sciences work. They don't, of course, like there are also scientists who say, and we actually also want to know what works. But if we see in this statistical distribution, we can say this technique works and we don't need to know why.
Let's think like this. So if the Chinese medicine doesn't work, why right now still there are so many Chinese medical hospitals exist,
Yeah.
right?
I don't want to say something false about Chinese hospitals. I don't know whether it works or not, right?
Yeah.
But
Because you never
but let me
go.
say something about Germany. We have a lot of bullshit in Germany done for many, many years, and people still practice bullshit. And we know it does not work, and people still do it.
Yeah.
So people believe in ghosts in Germany, right?
Here too.
People believe in all kinds of stuff where we know it's not true. So I think it's not necessarily an argument that many people believe something for why it is true.
But medicine, the doctor, the medical systems are totally different from the superstitions, right? Because if it doesn't work, then no one will go. So of course it works. That's why people go and people are willing to pay, right?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of deception also going on. I'm not saying that about Chinese medicine, but in Germany, many people are deceived because people who are very sick, for example, they're desperate, right? Western medicine can say, we may not be able to cure that, right? And then they're desperate and they go to a lot of people who offer them strategies. And then there's also another thing. When you get sick, your body will heal. And then after you're healed, it's sometimes hard to say. And many people, they did something and they say, it was because I did that. And that's where the Western medicine came up with the double-blind standard. And I have to tell you, like, it's also in China, in like what I know, like, I mean, I have also a friend who studies traditional Chinese medicine in Shanghai, right? But I'm not talking about that. I think a lot of Western scientific methods are already adopted in China.
Yeah,
and that's why they also adopt like Western medicine.
Of course.
I want to do something else with you. I want to do a philosophical health check.
Recording?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I was just like, my heart was pounding. No! Okay, I want to do a philosophical health check with you.
Yes.
And I really do that because many people don't know what philosophy is about.
Okay.
Right? And so I will check different opinions that you have. I haven't taken that philosophical health check yet. And I guess this website will tell you where do you have contradictions in your belief.
Okay.
Are you ready to do that?
Go.
It might turn out that you have contradictions.
Okay.
That's okay, yeah? And then maybe afterwards we can say what is philosophy actually. So let me make it a bit bigger that maybe people can read it better. But I will also read it. Just here, so people can read it too. No, that does not help. Yes, this helps. Okay. So there are no objective moral standards. Moral judgments are merely an expression of the values of particular cultures.
Disagree.
Disagree. So you think there are objective moral standards?
Of course.
Yeah, what would they be, for example?
Beating an Asian.
Beating an Asian? That already sounds so particular. So, no, I guess like something like you shouldn't rape someone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Or children, like, okay, I stop here. So, so long as they do not harm others, individuals should be free to pursue their own ends.
So long as they do not harm others, individuals should be free to pursue their own ends.
Like their own goals.
Agree?
Yeah? Agree? Okay.
If they want.
People should not journey by car if they can walk, cycle, or take a train instead.
Disagree.
You disagree, yeah? It is always wrong to take another person's life.
It depends. Some people ask to die, and they go to special institute to sign for die.
Okay, but then they would take their lives themselves, right?
The doctors will inject something.
Yeah, but I think in this instance, it's more assisting a suicide, right?
Yes.
You're not taking someone's life. So I wouldn't say this is an instance of that.
Sure.
But I think what is really meant here is killing someone.
Agree.
So someone should never be killed except in assisted suicide. Okay, so agree. The right to life is so fundamental that financial considerations are irrelevant in any effort to save lives.
So fundamental that financial considerations are irrelevant in any effort to save lives.
So it means that if somebody's life can be saved, we should do everything to save that person's life.
Yes.
It also means, for example, I mean, it's a big issue in health sciences or with regard to health insurance, right? Because sometimes it can be really expensive to provide to someone a certain surgery or something, and then the hospital says you cannot pay for it. So should society then pay for it, or what do you think?
Yes.
Okay, so you agree? Voluntary euthanasia should remain illegal. Do you know euthanasia?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's actually what you said before.
Voluntary.
So that means like if I want to be killed, should it be illegal? Like I want to commit suicide and you help me. Should that be illegal?
No.
So you disagree, right?
Yes.
So it should be legal that we have voluntary euthanasia.
But it's just really hard to prove.
What is hard to prove?
Like you want me to kill you. You ask me to kill you. How can I prove you asked me? We shoot a video then.
Yeah.
Take a video.
I think it's not so hard to prove.
Problem solved.
So homosexuality is wrong because it is unnatural?
No, disagree.
It is quite reasonable to believe in the existence of a thing without even the possibility of evidence for its existence.
Reasonable to believe in the existence of a thing without even... Agree.
It is quite reasonable. So you would say, for example, it's reasonable to believe in souls, aliens, and Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kidding here a bit, because wouldn't you say that there's evidence for Chinese medicine?
Yeah, because a lot of people get cured.
Oh, okay. So that's your criterion. Okay. The possession of drugs for personal use should be decriminalized.
Disagree.
Disagree. You think
People are underage.
Yeah, but I think it doesn't mean like underage people. Like if you go beyond 18.
But still, some people lack of self-control.
Okay, so you disagree?
Yep.
There exists an all-powerful, loving, and good God.
No, disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Because I believe there's a God, but it's not loving and good
It's
all
an
the
alien.
time.
It's an oh, it's okay, okay.
It depends.
It's not good all the time, okay. But you believe in a God.
I don't believe like Jesus or Allah or this kind of God, but I believe
What, Jesus or what?
Allah.
Allah, yeah. Allah.
Yeah.
So the Second World War was a just war? I don't even understand this question.
The hell disagree.
Like what? So, I don't... So having made a choice, it is always possible that one might have chosen otherwise. So basically it's the question, do we have free will?
Of course.
You say yeah. So you could always have chosen otherwise.
Not always, it depends, but yes.
So, but they say it's always possible, having made a choice. So when it comes to a choice.
Left. It's always possible that one have...
Yeah, so I think it really means a situation where you really ask yourself, should I do this or should I do this? You know, and then you choose something.
No, what's this question about?
So if you have made that choice, is it always possible that you also may have chosen otherwise?
if I'm agreed to choose that one?
Let me find an example. So, for example, you're a woman and you decide, okay, I want to have a baby, right? But I'm not sure. And then you think about it like for 2 weeks, and then you come clear that you choose to have a baby. So, but if you're free, you could also have chosen otherwise.
So, I don't understand.
So could you also, yeah, it's difficult to understand, I agree.
Then just agree.
Well, I mean, it's really one of the difficult questions about free will, you know?
Agree.
So you say we have free will.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Let's treat it as the question whether we have free will. It is not always right to judge individuals solely on their merits.
What's merits?
On their behavior, on what they do.
Agree.
Whether they are very good. Okay. Judgments about works of art are purely matters of taste.
Works of art.
Of art.
Agree.
Yeah. So when you see an art piece, like one person says it's good, the other one says it's bad, there's no objective criterion for art.
Yes.
Okay. On bodily death, a person continues to exist in a non-physical form.
Agree.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
That's what I believe.
It's
I
just
choose
a
to
belief.
believe.
You chose to believe. Okay. The government should not permit the sale of health treatments which have not been tested for efficiency and safety. For efficacy.
Should not permit the sale of health treatment which have not.
Yeah, so there are always people who sell something.
Agree.
You agree, yeah? There are no objective truths about matters of fact. Truth is always relative to particular cultures and individuals.
Disagree.
You think there are truths? What would be a truth?
If you say scientific truth, yes.
Is Chinese medicine an objective truth?
Yes.
It is objective truth.
Yes, because
Okay.
people getting cured.
I mean, see, this is also very much for me a criterion. If you can do this double-blind standard test and they show that people get cured, I would also say it's an objective truth. Atheism is a faith just like any other because it is not possible to prove the non-existence of God.
Atheism, what is that?
Atheism, so theism means God, and A is the alpha privativum. Just showing off a little bit with my knowledge. No, it just means there is no God. The belief that there is no God. Or now I say already belief, but...
So this word means God or there's no God?
Yeah, you know the term theology, right?
No.
He's a theologist or theologian. So theist means God. So if you believe in God, you're a theist. If you don't believe in God, you're an atheist. I made it really a bit too complicated.
Agree.
You agree, yeah? Interesting.
Very well.
Oh, proper sanitation and medicines are generally good for society.
Agree.
Yeah, that's, I wonder, like, this is like a just war. In certain circumstances, it might be desirable to discriminate positively in favor of a person as recompense for harms done to him, her in the past. To discriminate positively in favor of a person.
You made this website, right? The questions are so complicated and they confuse people a lot.
You get reminded of me, yeah?
Yeah, why can't I just speak straight?
Why?
Why?
Why can't you just speak straight?
Yes, just try to show like I'm full of
Show off.
knowledge.
I'm so much full of knowledge.
I'm a master of words. In certain circumstances, it might be desirable to discriminate positively in favor of a person as recompense for harms done to him or her in the past. Explain, please.
So discriminate positively in favor of a person. It means you give them certain advantages. You know, you say,
You
okay.
test them.
So, for example, in America, it's a big question for Black people. There's a certain law which is highly debated. How's it called? Affirmative action. Have you ever heard that? It means, for example, that people of lower classes, which often supports Black people, right, get easier access to American universities. I hope I say that right now, because there are a lot of traps where you can tap in. And so you say, okay, we discriminate positively because we compensate for what has happened in the past. Because, for example, Black people were disadvantaged by American history. They were slaves and so on. So, and you may say, okay, but no, we shouldn't do that because the society should be just on the level that is here right now. Or you say, oh yeah, we have to do that because we have to make up for what has happened in the past. Is that now understandable? Or, yeah.
Yes. Everything is related with history. So I think it's better when we make it up.
Better making it up.
Yep.
So you agree?
Yep.
Okay.
Like the Ukraine-Russian war. Yeah. It's related with the history.
Yeah. So it's right that Russia does it.
I understand both sides.
Oh. So what do you understand about Russia?
Let's skip the politics.
Let's skip the politics. Because I wonder, like, if a country attacks another country, right? That's like weird to me.
Yeah, but American does a lot.
Okay, so...
But no one accused them because they are powerful.
But shouldn't Russia then attack America?
No.
No?
No, because America has power and money, and he's the monitor of the class. America is the monitor of the class, and he's kind of like popular. And
so we should beat up other students.
No, and the rest of the class was just following the monitor.
Okay, so the Ukrainians for following America,
yeah,
they should be attacked and the cities should be destroyed.
Russia might be the vice monitor.
The vice monitor.
All the group leader of some groups, which Ukraine is in his group.
Yeah.
But he has really bad relationship with the monitor. So one day they had they're not friendly with each other. So the Ukraine wants to follow the monitor's team, but
So what has Ukraine done wrong?
Wrong?
Ukraine, yeah.
Maybe for his betrayal of the friendship.
So Russia can shell cities and invade the country.
No, it's like you have a friend for a long time.
Yeah.
You help him all the time. He was poor and he was something, and you always helping them.
Did Russia do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, how did they do that? I mean,
ask your Russian friend.
I'm from a...
It's a long story.
No. I'm from a Russian-occupied country, right? I'm from East Germany. So I think, yeah, the Russians freed the Eastern Bloc, East Germany.
Do you have to talk about politics?
Yes, I have to do that right now because I just want to say this is what I strongly feel. I mean, maybe even if Ukraine has done something wrong, my family right now, they host a lot of refugees in Germany, right? And I don't see, even if Ukraine has done something wrong, I wonder whether it's justified that another country invades your country, bombs the cities.
Yeah, that's not good, of course.
So you mean you understand Russia in the betrayal? Okay, I see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
understand why they attack them, but I don't say it's right to do that. I understand why they do that.
Okay.
But I never say it's right to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So alternative and complementary medicine is as valuable as mainstream medicine.
Medicine is so...
It's basically a question about Chinese medicine.
Agree,
okay. There's also other like homeopathy in Germany. severe brain damage can rob a person of all consciousness and selfhood.
Severe brain damage can rob a person.
So
Of
basically,
course, agree.
yeah. So like, let's say you get into an accident and your brain is dead, but your body's still alive, right? And you, like, now the question is whether they should still preserve your life or not. The doctors should or should not.
Should.
They should.
Yes.
But let's say they have severe brain damage.
Yes.
So technically the person is brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
So should they preserve the life or should they say, no, we
Should.
don't? But
Keep
then
him
you,
living.
okay, maybe, yeah. So you say you agree. You agree here. Severe brain damage can rob a person of all consciousness and selfhood.
That means the damage like made the guy
So the
without
question is,
consciousness.
yeah, so the question is when your brain is dead, basically sometimes it's like a sponge. I'm exaggerating a bit. Are you still you in that instance? Are you still Nancy?
That I don't know.
Yeah, it's a difficult question. I would also say I don't
If
know.
I believe I have a soul, maybe my soul
Yeah.
was locked inside my body, or maybe my soul is going somewhere else.
But then I would say you
But
disagree.
I need to keep that body. That body needs to.
So maybe your soul, is your soul connected to the brain?
No, I don't know. But I mean, as a doctor, you should keep the flesh, keep on living.
So I would say then you disagree.
I don't really get it.
Because you somehow say that the flesh has still like a life spirit or something, which may be connected to your soul.
I don't know, but you should.
Could the body still
not
be
dead.
alive and the soul is already gone?
It's not dead, so you should just keep
Okay,
him living.
I would say you disagree then.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. To allow an innocent child to suffer needlessly when one could easily prevent it is morally reprehensible.
Allow an innocent child to suffer needlessly.
So basically you have a child
morally.
and you let it
reprehensible.
suffer.
Why?
Because you don't care.
Disagree.
Disagree, yeah? Okay. This is basically, I think this is usually a question about God. So because usually people say, if God is all powerful and if he's all good, why does he allow that children suffer?
Because we have too many.
No, but God is all powerful, right? So
That is
usually they say, therefore God.
Of course, there's a limit.
So they say either God is not all good or he's not all powerful. That's what they usually say.
It's a powerful, but why he use his power on you?
Then because he's all good,
No,
right?
no.
You don't think he's all good. Like sometimes he's angry.
Of course, you see people die every day.
He's like a person like you and me.
No,
No?
no.
So, but he's evil.
No,
He's
it's
good?
like a consequences.
So he's good and evil?
No,
Like
it's
you and
like,
me?
No, it's like my theory is like so it's like I was basically coded about my life before I was born.
You were what?
I'm already like I'm a
Coded.
program. Yeah.
You're a program.
Yeah, I'm
Nice
a
to meet
program.
you.
And people already coded my life. So this
Okay.
is your path.
So you have no free will.
No, my free will I thought it's my free will. Actually it's coded.
But before you answered that there is free will.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that when you made a choice, you could always have made it otherwise.
Yes, but you can never reverse time.
Okay.
So on that time point, you've already made the choice in this past.
Okay, okay. So the environment should not be damaged unnecessarily in the pursuit of human ends.
Of course, agree.
You agree, yeah?
Yep.
Michelangelo is indisputably one of history's finest artists. Do you know Michelangelo?
Disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Well,
So
I prefer Da Vinci.
Oh, you prefer Da Vinci. But so you say no, it's not because Da Vinci is better. Okay, but isn't he still a finest artist? One of the finest?
Michelangelo is the guy who made this scout.
The
Like
David, right?
yeah.
And I think the chapel, the 16 chapel, I believe, right? Oh wait,
I have
did
no
Da Vinci
feeling.
made the David? Let me show you. Let me show you. Just stop here for a second. Okay, here we go. This is the 16th chapel, right? Yeah, he made the David, yeah.
Yep, I've seen it.
This one. Do you think David is beautiful?
Yes.
Do you know that David has a small dick?
Yes. Actually, so at that time, people enjoyed the nude sculpture of a person, but actually, I don't know I cannot enjoy such art. Actually, yeah, for me, it's just like a naked guy.
It's just a naked guy. I mean, I feel.
You don't have to click his penis.
I want to show you his penis. So, no, I don't want to show you his penis. I want to zoom in. Let me see. Maybe I can just have the picture, open image in a new tab. What I find fascinating is when you really zoom in, and don't worry, we don't do that with his penis.
So what's fun?
So, like, yeah, if you look at the tremendous, I don't want to go there. Like, if you,
Details?
yeah, if you go in the details of his arms, I sometimes feel
Muscles?
like, yeah, the vessels. Like, I don't want to show you his dick, but there's no way around.
Yeah.
So, like here, look at this hand.
Yeah.
Like he got that out of the stone, you
So
know?
vivid.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
And I think this is the other part is also anatomically very impressive. So, like getting something like that in such a detail out of a stone. I mean, I'm not an artist. I'm just impressed.
You know, right now you can just do this with the 3D printer. Like
That's
in one
true.
day.
That's true.
So
That's true. So, okay, so you think he's not one of the finest artists?
just let's say in that way, I cannot enjoy such art.
Okay. Well, I think the reason for why they ask it is before they ask a question whether art is objective or subjective, right? So I think in order to be consistent, you should say disagree, because there's no objective standard according to you. So individuals have sole rights over their own bodies.
Sole rights over, agree.
Acts of genocide stand as a testament to man's ability to do great evil.
Acts of genocide.
Genocide is when you kill a lot of people for, like, let's say their race.
As a testament to man's ability to do great evil.
And stand as a testament is like it's evidence.
Agree.
You agree? Okay. Like World War II.
Serial killers?
Yeah, I mean, they killed the Jews, you know?
Yeah.
They killed like 6 million Jews, the Germans. Yeah.
And the millions of Chinese.
Do you know what the Holocaust is?
Big cost?
No, it's like the Germans who killed the Jews. That is called the Holocaust. The Holocaust is a historical reality taking place more or less as the history books report.
Agree.
Yeah, that's like,
What
but
can
I
I
guess in
say?
America, no, there are people who doubt that in America.
They don't believe?
Yeah, they think it's fake,
Oh,
right?
I
As the
never
Ukraine
thought
war is fake, you know?
I never believed.
So, by the way, there is a rule in the internet when you say something ironic, no matter how ironic you make it, there's somebody who believes
yes.
that you just meant that. Okay, so governments should be allowed to increase taxes sharply to save lives in the developing world. So we are like Germany, America is industrial nation, developing world is maybe a country like maybe Zimbabwe, right? They have like real
Agree.
difficulties.
I think that's what they're doing.
But you know, that's interesting. Like, should we so let's say China's getting richer and richer. Should we increase the taxes so that they give more money to, let's say, Zimbabwe or poorer countries?
But as I know, they are already doing that.
In China?
Yes.
Okay, so you agree with that, yeah? Okay. The future is fixed. How one's life unfolds is a matter of destiny. So what?
Agree.
So you don't think you can influence your future?
I think I can influence my future. I think the future, in my opinion, is like your consciousness can
But then your
show
future
you the
is
path
fixed.
to the future. But actually, the consciousness is already settled. So yes, I think.
So okay, let me get that clear. So you say consciousness is out of this time, so we somehow enjoy a movie, yeah, but we have made these decisions before the movie.
Yes.
So you believe in free will, but you say it has already happened.
Yes. So it's like today I come here, we shoot a video.
Yeah.
So even we reverse time, so back to before, will I come here and continue doing like a shoot the
but you
video
made
with
the
you?
decision.
Yes, because
So
at that time, at that point, at that like environment, I will also make the same decision. At that time. Yes, I will come here to do this.
So what does it mean that you made a decision?
I decide to come here at this time to shoot a video with
So
you.
how can you make a decision? How can you say you made a decision if it would have happened anyway?
Because at that time, that's my decision.
Okay, but then like now about the future,
Yes.
do you make decisions or not?
Yes.
And they influence your future or not?
Of
Does
course.
the future depend on your decision?
Yes.
So, but then the future is fixed. How one's life unfolds as a matter of destiny.
So for example, if I will go to work tomorrow. No, it's like, okay, I will go to do the corona test tomorrow.
Yeah.
I decide to go to do the corona test tomorrow. I decide right now.
Okay.
So tomorrow, no matter I go or I didn't go or I don't go, it's already fixed. So no matter what I decide
So you say the
right
future
now,
is fixed. Okay.
Yes.
So let's go next. Let's see how healthy you are. Next. Let's see how healthy you are. We are all like, oh, first we have to determine your age. You don't have to tell me that. Actually, it does not matter. It's just for them. I give you a fair, like you're 21, right? That's probably what it is. And your religion, you don't have to say. You can say not saying.
I don't have
Not Buddhist.
other.
Other,
No.
yeah. Let's say other. Okay. Let's see up here the normal scene. So let's see what you get in the philosophical health check. Actually, I'm also curious what I would get. Oh, you scored higher than average. Congratulations. Wow. You got a score of 33 and the average gets a score of 27. Tension of quotients.
But it's ridiculous. How can they judge me? Like, judge me if I'm healthy or not?
Let's say you say something like God exists, and later you say something like God does not exist, right?
No,
So these would be in strong tension with each other, these two claims. Am I right?
No, they were saying God is all good.
Yeah.
I disagree. But
But
I
let's
agree.
say I ask you in another test, right? I say, does God exist? And you say yes. And then I ask you again, does God not exist? And you say yes again. Then we would agree it's a strong tension, right? Yeah. So it's a bit like that, right? They say, okay, if you believe this, how then can you believe this, right? So, and the question is, okay, what do they mean by tension? And actually, they give you some of the tensions. So they say the test is designed to identify tensions or contradictions between various beliefs that you hold, okay? They are not designed to say what of your beliefs are true or false. See, and this is something very interesting, because at the beginning we started and we said we want to have science. But science is always directed towards the question of whether something is true or not, right? But a branch of philosophy, not all of philosophy, philosophy is also interested in truth. Philosophy very often just investigates whether the beliefs you have, whether they are in tension or not. Because, for example, you could say that you believe in God, and you can also say, I don't believe in God. That is possible, but if I ask you, do you believe that the principle of non-contradiction is true? And if you say yes, then you have a very strong tension, right? I assume you believe in the principle of non-contradiction. It gets more complicated.
I have to say, I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, nobody understands what I say. Let's see what are your tensions, okay?
Yeah.
Let's see what are your tensions. Are there any absolute truths? Okay. 37% of the people who have completed this activity have tensions in their beliefs. You agreed that there are no objective truths about matters of fact. Truth is always relative to particular cultures and individuals. And also that the Holocaust is an historical reality taking place more or less as the history books report. If truth is relative, then nothing is straightforwardly true or factual. Everything is true for someone or a fact for them. So you understand, I don't have to go on. I mean, you can still say, well, I want to correct myself. Maybe it's not entirely true. Like, what do you think?
About what?
Would you change your position, or would you say, well, that's a tension?
No.
Would you change like either one of these beliefs?
No.
No? But then what do you say about this tension? It's no tension for you, or?
I don't treat it as a tension.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's what I believe.
Okay.
That just to be honest, on the tangent, dishonest, I'll just tell you the truth.
So,
what I think.
Do you believe the Holocaust is true?
Yeah.
It really happened.
Why not? Why is not true? There's so many movies.
Maybe somebody made it up.
Cause I know a guy whose father escaped from there, and he told me the story. So
it's an objective truth.
There's no reason for him to lying to me.
Okay.
And I think all the Chinese will believe that's a truth.
Okay, so you say it's an objective truth.
Yes.
So, but then you also say there are no objective truths.
About the matter, I don't get it.
Yeah. So you say the Holocaust is an objective truth?
Objective truth means it happened.
It really happened, yeah. And we can know it. But you say there are no objective truths about matters of fact.
Can you make an example of explaining what does that mean?
Yeah, so for example, when you say there are no objective truths, I could also say that the Holocaust is a matter of perception and we don't know whether the Holocaust happened or not.
On this one, the Holocaust, I believe, is truth.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean all of the facts that we know.
Okay, but are there some objective truths?
Like alien is not exist?
No, like the Holocaust. Okay, let's go to the next one. So how much must I protect the environment? I already saw that coming, by the way. So 58% of the people who have completed this activity have tensions in their beliefs. You agreed the environment should not be damaged unnecessarily in the pursuit of human ends, but disagreed people should not journey by car if they can walk, cycle, or take a train instead. As walking, cycling, and taking the train are less environmentally damaging than driving a car for the same journey, if you choose to drive when you could have used another mode of transportation, you are guilty of unnecessarily damaging the environment.
Because time is more important.
Okay, but then it's not unnecessarily, right? People should not journey by car if they can walk. So you
Of
have
course, you can walk to Europe if you
Yeah.
want from here. Of course, you can.
Yeah.
But who will do that?
Yeah.
It's a time problem.
Well, I mean, if you have a time problem, right?
And the living condition problem and
Yeah.
the money problem.
Well, so let's say if you have a time problem or any of these problems, of course, then you say, I have to take the car, right? But this here says you should not journey by car if you can walk, right? But obviously you say, no, I cannot walk because I can't, like, I have to be there in 30 minutes. If I walk, I need 8 hours. So the question is if you should walk when you can avoid it.
No, because I'm lazy.
Okay. So, but then you say the environment can be damaged in the pursuit of human ends.
Yeah, it will be damaged, I know, but I know it should not be damaged.
So
For
what do you,
example,
but then you should
like,
walk, then you should
I
walk.
support green energy.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So see, that's why I don't have a car. I don't drive.
Okay. So let's look at the next tension. Can we please ourselves? 26% of the people have completed that activity have tensions in their beliefs. So you agreed that as long as they do not harm others, individuals should be free to pursue their own ends. But you disagreed that the possession of drugs for personal use should be decriminalized.
So long they do not harm others, they should be free to pursue their own ends. Yes.
So do you see the tension there, or do you think there's no tension?
Yes, it's like if I want to do the harrowing, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one should say anything to me, right?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Why not?
It's like that's too extreme for me. The tensions are too extreme. It's not 100% like this, not 100%, like nothing's 100%. So I'm saying that it's really depend on different cases.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the times, of course, you have your free will and nobody should say anything to me. But if you're doing the drugs, of course, your it will hurt your family, you hurt the people close to you,
Mm-hmm.
and it will hurt the society as well. So you shouldn't
Okay.
do that.
So here's another one, is the future fixed, right? I think I already saw that. Having made a choice is always possible that one might have chosen otherwise. I already pointed that out. And then you say the future is fixed. You had a more complicated theory about that, which may or may not work. And then the last one, what should be legal? You agreed the government should not permit the sale of treatments which have not been tested for efficacy and safety. But then you also said that alternative and complementary medicine is as valuable as mainstream medicine. Well, that's a complicated question. That was the question where we started. You would probably say that Chinese medicine, for example, is tested, right, because it works. Other people would judge that as a problem. So I would say I want to finish here. Thank you very much for taking the test. It took a very long time. I just want to make a statement about philosophy, because it's very hard to say what philosophy is, but I believe many people have misconceptions about it. And I think philosophy is, in one part, the exploration of thoughts that we hold and whether they are in tension with each other. And a big work that philosophy may be able to do is help you in your own life to resolve these tensions. Because these tensions will maybe possibly lead to problems in your life. Maybe not the tensions we have seen, like why should you care about that? Maybe these are not relevant, but there are a lot of tensions that we hold with our beliefs. And philosophy tries to order them. There's a big debate whether philosophy is capable to do that. Philosophy criticizes itself. Philosophy is always criticizing itself, right? So I'm not denying that. But it's an interesting perspective on philosophy, and I hope I could maybe help to open a little bit the perspective on that. Do you have any final thoughts?
Thank you for inviting me here tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I thank you very much. It was very interesting. I think you have always very interesting opinions. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and it's always fun to talk with you, also when I'm teasing you a little bit. Okay. So,
Okay,
yeah.
I don't mind.
Bye-bye.